Hello. Hi. Uh, um, okay. Sorry. I was like, all right. So this is my artifact episode number 3000, 3900 something, 940, 52, probably 52, 3952, 52. Yeah. Today's date is March 20, 2026. It's been almost like a morning at 8:03 a.m. Like I don't know how to supposed to explain, but today's weather is like really beautiful. Like it's a kind of like such a weather now. It just it's a cloudy. Okay, it's a cloudy. I love the cloudy weather. Okay, why? Because I'm from India, and the heat are here are so much extreme. Okay, when I get this cloudy weather, it's just like really good. It's like that na ki like like I don't know, like how do I supposed to explain? It's just like that na ki the feeling is very difficult to explain. Okay, it's a kind of like something the experience thing. It's a like I haven't really been that many location in all around the world, nothing really at all. I spend all of my whole lifehood in here, specifically in Wardha, Maharashtra, and I never really seen the out of the world how it looks and things and that. But sometime now it just kind of like a something that key sometime just weather and place is a kind of like add so much amount of value that it just like I don't know. It just felt so good in so many ways. Sorry, let me like it's a like right now. Okay, what I'm feeling right now, I'm gonna explain to you. Okay, it's very hard to explain, but still, it's almost like a weather is like approximately 17 to 18 degrees Celsius. Okay, yeah, like what I'm feeling right now. Okay, yeah, and like little amount of small breeze are actually here. Okay, it's not too much but it's not too less. It just have existence. It just I could feel the existence of that thing when it kind of like crossed through my hands and things. It felt like wow. Okay. Usually this weather is represent little bit of like a like romantic. I don't know. It just kind of like a feel like that. Na, ki this weather is kind of like a triggered romantic emotion inside of me. And usually like this weather is a really perfect weather like for the reading a book. Okay, yeah, like if you are reading a book and things and that, you just kind of like sit on the rooftop and kind of like put your book and kind of like reading a book and things like that. It's really beautiful. There is a birds over there too. I don't know how to supposed to explain this thing, but sometimes now I am very privileged to born on this planet. Like, like what I'm trying to tell you is like that. Ki, am I kind of like born on different planet? No, but sometimes I just kind of like feel like that. Ki the Earth is so special in so many ways that I don't know. Okay, let me kind of like clarify. Okay, yeah. Till today, okay, I'm not really that much science guy by the way, but I have little bit of kind of like a enthusiastic regarding about science. Okay, yeah. Till today we scout almost like a hundreds of light year, by the way, hundreds of light year, and we haven't really found a kind of like a planet which is habitat for the life. Okay, yeah. We found some of the planet which is kind of like a somewhat something habitat for the existence of the life, but I'm not really sure about that, and probably is this thing they have just a picture regarding about that. This is a super Earth and things and that and that. I'm not really sure. I haven't really been there. Nothing really at all. But if I'm gonna say that, ki, what is one of the beautiful thing on this planet, or like I haven't really been on another planet. It's been always been my this planet all the time. But what's the really one of the beautiful thing on this planet is that ki weather. Okay, yeah, like Okay, and another thing, rain. Yeah. Okay, let me tell you one thing. In entire solar system, okay, um, earth and europa earth and europa are the two planet have rain. Okay, like rain actually, europa, or I'm not really sure, Titan, I'm not really sure about Europa or Titan. Titan and Europa, those are the kind of like a satellite of Jupiter, okay, and they have a rain. They have rain of methane. Okay, literally this thing like in here, methane are in gas. Okay, why? Because it's kind of like some this thing that the cooling temperature of methane is almost like a minus 200 degree and things and that and that. So obviously the methane is actually exist, but in gases format. Okay, yeah. But if you went to Europa or maybe Titan, I'm not really sure about the exact things, but they have a rain of methane. Okay, yeah, which is also really good too. But still, is this thing like a acidic rain would be kind of like a really catastrophic, right? I'm not really sure about that, but it's a rain. Yeah, like it's a kind of like assembly. The cloud is actually made up by methane, and they kind of like assembly rain. Since we have this cloud, that kind of like assembly the evaporation and water kind of like a dissolve in this thing. Like we have rain of water, they have rain of methane. I don't want to comparison this thing, but it's just like that. My planet is a really beautiful planet as compared to Europe or Titan. Probably they have maybe kind of like a really good things, but still, my planet is a really good planet. It just like it's like really beautiful in its own ways. Like look at the weather, look at the trees, look at the the birds and things and that. I don't know how to supposed to admire this planet. It's just like that na ki, like how, I don't know, is this thing that na ki most of people are kind of like a thing that na ki, dude, you are living on this planet for whole life, you haven't really seen the another planet. How do you supposed to kind of like have a reference point that ki this is my kind of like a really good planet and another planet is not really good planet? Okay. Also, yeah, I am not a science guy. I haven't really been science, or maybe not that much kind of like a science geek or things and that and that. I kind of like only determine the what is actually good thing or bad thing regarding about me from my point of perspective. I'm not really sure about, maybe science would gonna say this is the planet is really good and things and that they have even more beautiful weather and things and that. I haven't really been there. I'm not really sure. Whatever. But sometimes I just kind of like feel like that ki, like I don't know how it's a very kind of like a things that na ki, okay, like if I'm gonna say, are you excited to go to the another planet? Okay, if I'm gonna ask this question that ki, like do you want to go to the another planet, that another planet is really good, really great things and that and that and that, are you willing to accept this thing or not? Okay, yeah. Now might be some people can accept this thing. Okay, I will gonna go to that another planet. Okay, things and that. If someone asks me that question that ki, will you go to this planet, I will gonna say no. And why not? I think that na ki, I don't really have any answer, but I don't want it to. Okay, what is exactly my planet is kind of like a represent by where I born, where I spend my entire life, where I kind of like meet the people and things and that and that. The beautiful word is not came from the surrounding situation, weather and things and that. How beautiful is another planet or how beautiful is this thing or that is not determined by like a weather and things and that. It determined by the, yeah, it determined by the people that we live in, like people that we have, or kind of like a somebody that ki how beautiful. I don't know how do I supposed to explain this thing. It's just like that na ki, like a will you go to another planet, you don't really have any friends and things and that, would you go there? I don't want it to go, and reason is not just because of friend, it's because of that ki, like I don't know, it's just like that na ki, I born here, I think that I should supposed to be die here too, and not because of kind of like somebody as a more pathetic way, no, but it's just like that na ki, this is the kind of like thing that I want. I don't know how to supposed to explain this thing. It just might be another planet would be much more beautiful, better in the future, things and that and that, and we have kind of like such a spaceship that could kind of like go there. I don't know. But if someone asks me this question that will you go to another planet, I am not that kind of like a particular person. I love this planet. Yeah, but sometimes na, it's just like that ki we realize that ki how much we are spoiling this planet by kind of like somebody as a human intervention, innovation and things, global warming and that and that and that. Am I feel sad? Yes. Will I able to do anything at all? I could do, but my my kind of like somebody is this thing, whatever the implementation that I do is kind of like a so less than it just became non-existence. It just kind of like somebody stealing the bucket of water from entire ocean. It doesn't really make sense at all. But still the government is kind of like doing well. They understand what is actually right and wrong, and they understand that what is actually better thing for our planets and things and that. But still humans are greedy too. I know that I am also greedy too. It's a lot like that. Okay, yeah. But you just think that na ki I really accept this thing that ki because of human greed we shouldn't supposed to be spoil the entire planet, because it's beautiful. It's really beautiful, and it is our home probably. Let's just stopping the admire of the planet. Let's just ask question. Okay, yeah, let's just. All right. Okay. So the question is, what friction or difficult could I introduce to make this bad habit harder to perform? That's a really good question. Okay, first of all, what exactly is this question and why am I asking this question to myself? Couple of days ago, I read a book, Atomic Habit by James Clear. Really amazing book. Highly recommend to you to read this book. I wanted to implement the value that book taught me, and how do I supposed to do that? By asking question to myself and giving the honest answer. So I went to ChatGPT, kind of like say this thing that ki I read this book, I wanted to implement the value, suggest me 20 question. ChatGPT kind of like suggest me 20 question. This is one of those question. By the way, I wrote question in here. Why? Because most of the question are in PDF in mobile phone, and while recording you cannot do this thing and that and that. That's why I wrote this question in here. By the way, this is the kind of like a new book that I'm reading, How to Win and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Really amazing book. Highly recommend to you to read this book as well. Okay, yeah. The question is that ki, how do I supposed to make my bad habit difficult to execute or difficult to first of all is that, do I have a bad habit? Yes, I do have, but like I kind of like mentioned this thing multiple times regarding about the previous artifact episode and still and that, but still again I explain. Okay, okay. Instead of kind of like giving my example, I am kind of like somebody giving you kind of like a random example. Okay, that you understand. Okay, so let's just say that ki whatever the bad habit that you have, let's just say that ki you have a bad habit of like basically this thing, doom scrolling or procrastination. Okay, yeah. So how do you supposed to be stop or avoid or quit that habit? First of all is that ki you cannot quit the habit, you cannot stop the bad habit. Okay, essential thing that you understand, if you decided that ki whatever the bad habit that you have, I wanted to quit it, I wanted to not to do that thing, you are wrong. Okay, you are wrong. Human mind doesn't really work like that way. You cannot stop something that is already kind of like a performing something. Okay, yeah, but you can minimize it. That is a essential thing that you have to understand, because I watch a bunch of videos on YouTube platform and things and that, and everyone says this thing, if you are procrastination then you have to do this to stop this thing, you have to do this to stop this thing. do not stop yourself. Okay, why am I saying this thing? Okay, I don't know why. Actually, this is something actually happened. Okay, yeah. Why am I saying this thing? Okay, um, I'm kind of like simply giving you example. Okay, yeah. So let's just say that you haven't really run for, like, you haven't really run. Okay, yeah. And I said to you that start running. Okay, yeah. Like start running non-stop for almost like a 1 hour. Would you run? um, Probably you might gonna run because you think that running would be kind of like a really essential and things and that it gonna add so much amount of value and things and that, so I should supposed to be run more. So you put so much amount of effort to run, and you run like you ran almost like a 1 hour. Yeah, you kind of like exhausted, or like the sweat is actually dripping and things like that, but you run. But how much effort that you put? 10 out of maybe 10. Okay, yeah, 10 out of 10. And how much value that you get? 10 out of 1. Why? Because let me tell you one thing, when you put the effort too much, it is really essential that you might not gonna do this for longer period of time. Because let me tell you one thing, if you wanted to continue any activity, you have to be consistent. Okay, consistent. And consistent is actually come from less effort. And if you kind of like do the less effort, then it will kind of like being consistent. Okay, let me kind of like give you context. Okay, yeah, let's just say you run like a 5 minute, and the consistent level would be 10 out of maybe 10 out of 9. Okay, means you gonna do this thing for every single day. If you run maybe kind of like a somebody that 20 minute, maybe consistency would be little less. Okay, yeah, if I'm gonna say you run an entire hour, then consistency would be kind of like a 10 out of 2. Okay, let me tell you one thing, it does not depend on this, that how much value that you get. It depends on this, that how much consistent that you are. Okay, yeah, whatever the kind of like a bad habit that you have, you kind of like a thing that I am kind of like a somebody quitting everything, I will not gonna do anything at all, things and that. So you stop everything. So you are putting that much effort, so stopping yourself. That much effort, 10 out of 9 or 10 out of 10. And when you do this thing, your consistency would be 10 out of 1, because you might not gonna do that much effort every single day. Okay, yeah. So that is really essential. Like most of people kind of like things that drop everything, quit everything, just do it. Okay, they are kind of like saying this thing for their stake of mind, things and that. But in reality, you are putting that much effort to not to do this thing. Like let's just say you are the procrastination, you are scrolling the Instagram reel and that. Okay, yeah. And you are addicted with that thing, and someone says quit everything, so you are kind of like stopping yourself. That means you are putting effort to not to watch any kind of like a video or reel or things and that. So that means you are putting 10 out of almost like a 10 out of 10 effort to stop yourself. Okay, yeah. And if you do this thing, then consistency would be very less, because consistency depend upon how much effort that you put. If you are putting too much amount of effort, consistency would be very less. So it is really essential that the amount of effort that you put is equivalent to the consistency. Like let's just say that you are the procrastination, you are kind of like a particular person who procrastinate a lot. Okay, yeah, you scroll a reel or things and that. So instead of stopping everything, what should you supposed to do is that minimize it. Yeah, minimize it. That's one of the really essential thing that you understand, is that minimize the stuff. Most of people just focusing on quitting, but do not quit, just minimize it. And minimize is a kind of like a far more easy, and kind of like you shouldn't supposed to be put that much effort to minimize that. Example, let's just say that you are the habit of procrastination. Okay, yeah, you are scrolling reel all the time and things and that. What should you supposed to do? Okay, yeah, understand how much screen time that you are. Okay, every mobile phone has a screen time. It kind of like determine that how much time that you spend on which application and things and that. Every phone has that feature. Okay, let's just say you are spending almost like a 4 hour 5 hour on Instagram or TikTok or anything at all. Okay, what should you supposed to do? Turn on the focus mode. Okay, when you turn on the focus mode, it kind of like somebody you can use this application for a specific period of time, like let's just say 5 minute or 10 minute. Okay, yeah. and after 10 minutes it app automatically close by focus mode. Okay, yeah. In Android we have a digital well-being. You turn on that digital well-being focus mode, it open for 5 minutes and then it automatically close. Okay, yeah. Now let me tell you one thing, you are not stopping procrastination, you are just controlling. Means like that, let's just say you open the mobile phone, yeah, the focus mode is on, you kind of like select for 5 minutes, there is a notification came, yeah, that you have to use this application for 5 minutes, you just have to press OK and then Instagram open, you scroll things and that and that and that. Okay, yeah. And after 5 minutes automatically close and just say, oh, app is closed now. But you are kind of like scrolling the reel and thought that ki, yeah, I wanted to watch that video, so you just open the Instagram again, set the again 5 minutes, then scrolling things and that. Now after 5 minutes it close. After it closed, then you decided that would I open this thing or not. I would say, yeah, it's not really that much essential, let's just drop it. Okay, yeah. So you just drop the thing. So when you do that thing, in kind of like in previously you are kind of like a scrolling reel for almost like an hour, but because of this focus mode you are using this application for just for 10 minutes, and you already kind of like set yourself, okay, like this I use this application for 10 minutes, now I'm shouldn't supposed to use this thing, so you stop. Okay, because it is effort, it really required to effort to open this application again, because you are kind of like a telling false, or you are kind of like a telling yourself that key, okay, let's do this again. Because if you do this thing, then probably you are kind of like a lying to yourself, because you are kind of like somebody set yourself that you shouldn't supposed to do procrastination a lot, and you are kind of like still doing this thing is because of that focus mode is kind of like on. It just kind of like a brain psychology is kind of like a thing that key, someone kind of like a poking you, do not do this thing, do not do this thing, do not do this thing. After all those things you are kind of like still doing this thing, like a first time, second time, but third time you might gonna say, okay, yaar, I shouldn't supposed to do that thing, so then you stop yourself. So that is called focus mode will gonna happen. It's kind of like a minimize your time, means whatever the Instagram that you're gonna use, you will gonna use maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, max to max 15 minutes, that's it. Okay, but then after that you will not. Okay, yeah, because app automatically close. Okay, this is the way that you minimize the procrastination. Same thing happen whatever the app that you're gonna use, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever it is, just select those application, turn on the focus mode, whatever you are kind of like doing this thing, it definitely work, because I am using this thing for almost like basically COVID 2020, 2021, 2022. Okay, yeah. After 2022 I uninstalled the Instagram application because I just don't really need it. Okay, yeah. I reached that particular period of time that I might not use this application, so I uninstalled that. Do not uninstall the Instagram or any TikTok app or nothing like that at all. Don't do it. It's not. Just turn on the focus mode. iOS and digital and Android both have that feature. Use that thing. It will definitely gonna add value. Just important is that minimize it. Okay, minimize the kind of like whatever the procrastination that you have, it work, and it automatically just save lot of time of yours. Literally, just I am saying this thing because I use that thing. Okay, yeah. First of all, do not set yourself to quit anything. Don't quit anything. Do not quit procrastination, nothing really at all. Okay, because you know what kind of like a value that you are getting from the scrolling the reels and things. You might get funny, you might get whatever, there are a bunch of videos that you are getting and things and that. Important thing is that control yourself. That's it. You just do it. You just, I don't know, if you do this thing, then probably you just kind of stop yourself, it just minimize it. Okay, yeah. And if it does, that's it. Okay, yeah. That's it. You don't have to put anything at all. This is what it is. Na? Most of people think that you have to put that much amount of effort to quit anything or start anything, or no. Sometimes it just use just minimum, just control, and you will gonna consistency and things and that. Right? That's it. Solve the problem. Sometimes the solution is not very big. People is gonna say quit the Instagram, quit this thing, quit that. Just don't. Okay, or maybe things. Alright. Another thing is that let's just say you are masturbating. Okay, you have masturbation, I have the bad habit of masturbation. What do you gonna do? Quit the masturbation? Don't. like basically it just think that now if you can do it, okay, but I recommend to you to minimize it. Okay, yeah. Masturbation is not a disease, is not a wrong, like a video, like in the YouTube video they kind of like say this thing that ki, it's a disease, you have to stop and things and that and that and that. It's my opinion, I'm not really sure, I am not a doctor, I am not a kind of like a sexuology, I'm nothing really at all. But from my point of perspective is this thing that ki I minimize my masturbation. Like basically like almost like a decade ago I was kind of like a masturbating every second day, but I decided that ki I shouldn't supposed to be kind of like a do this thing. So I make sure that I should supposed to be make a gap, 3 days of gap, 4 days of gap, 5 days of gap. Right now I reach that particular period of time that I reach 5 days of gap. Okay, yeah. So like if I masturbate at 5th, like 5th of May, then I would gonna masturbate at kind of like after the 10th of May. That 5 days of gap kind of like a control me and things and that. I don't really get any trigger in between that, nothing really at all. So this is what it is, I minimize it. But that minimization take me almost like a decade, literally decade to achieve that 5 days of gap. Sometimes I just, yeah, sometimes I just kind of like a not really control, sometimes I kind of like a cheat, sometimes I kind of like a make sure that ki 4 days or I don't know. Okay, but I make sure that 5 days of gap should supposed to be maintained and things and that, which will kind of like a control my masturbation cycle. Okay, yeah. But let me tell you one thing, masturbation is not a disease, is not a kind of like a thing that you have to get rid of it. Don't do it. Okay, because if you try to do it na, same cycle, putting so much amount of effort to not to do this thing, and if you are putting that much amount of effort, it is very higher chances to not to be consistent. Okay, so this is what it is. Important thing, consistency. If you maintain the consistency, you just remove everything. Yeah, whatever that you have and things and that and that. Another thing is that if you have this masturbation thing, understand the triggered point. Instagram is a very kind of like a triggered a lot. Okay, yeah. I'm living in India. TikTok is not actually exist in India, so I am not really sure about the TikTok. But Instagram is actually here, and Instagram is actually triggered a lot. So there is a lot of setting on Instagram. Do not suggest me sensitive content. Do not this and that and that. And whatever the kind of like some of those images that you are seeing are kind of like a very sexualism, just select the block or not interested or things and that. Instagram understand this thing and that. Also use the focus mode too, or simultaneously. That focus mode will kind of like eliminate that thing. Okay, yeah. Okay, implementation takes time. If I just say you started doing this thing, it does not happen. It takes time. It takes like, it took me almost like 5 years to kind of like things and that. So do not hurry for any kind of like somebody that key result. It longer takes. If you're gonna think that in 21 days I was gonna change my life, don't. It does not work like that way. It work might be if you are kind of like a really good and things and that, but still is this thing, what I'm saying is this thing that be kind of like actually minimize the every wrong thing that you have. You just control everything. You are not wrong. Okay, you are not wrong. You are just a human with a bad habit, and it can be fixed by minimizing, not quitting it. So that's the kind of like a thing. By the way, there are a bunch of bad habits that if you are kind of like a particular person who kind of like eat a lot of junk food, then probably eat less junk food. Okay, yeah, like delete those Zomato, Swiggy or food delivery app. Okay, try not to expose with a lot of kind of like a something that key junk food ready or junk food kind of like a somebody the food truck are kind of like a serving and things and that. Okay, at the beginning it might be kind of like a little bit tempting, but yeah, but same thing, just minimize it. Okay, yeah, if you wanted to eat the junk food, probably decided that key twice in a like a once in a day, then probably maybe like a once in a 2 day, or maybe kind of like a once in a week. Okay, yeah, if you decided that, then yeah, like just slowly minimize it, you can get better result. So this is what you think. Bad habit is not a kind of like a bad habit, it's not a disease, it just minimize it. That's the only solution that I'm kind of like giving you. So this is it, isn't okay. Sometimes I just kind of like feel like that TED talk. Like basically I'm kind of like giving advice to the what should you supposed to do, what should you supposed to not. I don't know, but it's just like that whatever I experienced throughout the entire like things. Yeah, by the way. If you are still wanting to do this thing, record artifact. Self-reflection is a really good technique to control every habit, and it's a really good process. Like, you understand yourself much more better by recording artifact or things like that and that. Okay. So this is it, and thank you.